Oh my god, it's so cold. Alright, as I get closer and closer to getting the money together to do the head gasket on the Vigor, I get antsy. I don't want to just let it sit, you know. I've started it up and done all that. And then I got too bored with just letting it sit there, warm up, and getting the blood flowing that I took it out for a drive. Drove great. No problems. Even though there's a hose that blew up. I'm not even sure what the hose is called, neither is my mechanic. But it blew up. So it didn't seem to matter so long as you didn't warm it up so much that it ever became an issue. Well, a couple of times it did warm up too much. Am I not gonna? There we go. And so all it did was drain some of the coolant out, maybe about half. So you just replace it and keep on driving. Because it is fun to drive, and I did park it with 3/4 of a tank of gas in it, and don't want to let that go to waste. So, oh, the hood was already open. So I started driving it more. And then I got to thinking, what if I just put tape on the hose? That might be alright. Before I got a chance to put the tape on the hose, it blew a bigger hole. So then it just started hissing, no matter what. And this hose, you can get orientation here, is the front of the car. And back here toward the firewall, about in the center. It's really hard to see. I haven't been under here so long looking for it. Well, the lighting's bad and I can't tell, but it's down there somewhere. There's some random coolant hose down there, and that just drains it out. So now the big thing is to have the head gasket replaced. Well, it's about $1,100 to do that. But what it's doing is, since the head gasket is blown, it's not blowing white smoke out the tailpipe like a telltale sign of that. And it has no water in the oil, which is the other telltale sign. It's just small enough of a hose where some compression is leaking into the cooling system, and because of that, it's putting too much pressure on hoses that just deal with coolant. And now it's taking engine compression and adding it to this, which is why I was having the overflow bubble over. That's why I had to replace my rad cap, because it just blew it out. And that's why everything is just under too much pressure, because pressure from the engine was going into the cooling system, and that's obviously just not supposed to happen. So I'm going to have that hose replaced and then just drive it gently, and then we shouldn't have any more issues until I'm able to get the head gasket repair job done. Now, that new hose, labor and all that, because I don't want to do it, because it's very hard to reach, is about $60. And I hope that'll last me another, I think, week and a half to 2 weeks, and then I'll have the money together to be able to take care of this. So when that happens, this bad boy will be back on the road again. I think it has like 265,000 miles on it. So I mean, the tranny has really good life going on. It shifts perfect. And yeah, 265, 139. So when you are driving it, I mean, the engine is so smooth, the tranny shifts so smooth, and I've done everything else to this frickin' thing. I think the head gasket at $1,000 is going to be worth it, and it's going to be one of the last few things it's going to need before I'm able to just drive it till it dies, basically. There's a wheel bearing click over there on the passenger front, and something's clunking around with this wheel. I really need to get it up on jacks to see why this is clunking. I don't know if it's a ball joint or what, because you can't shake it around when it's just sitting here. So I need to get it up in the air and try to figure out what that clunking is, because that's kind of not okay if it's something like a ball joint. But I did a CV boot, I changed the differential fluid, tranny fluid a few times, keeping this thing alive. Spark plug tube seals, new water pump, new timing belt. Spark plugs are all new. Man, the wires on this thing are like $50, so I haven't done those. Needs a steering rack replaced because it leaks fluid. Right now it's all the way up, but when I came back to this after letting it sit forever, it drained all of the power steering fluid out. What else have we done to this? Just lots and lots of work. So that's why I'm not really wanting to give up on it, just because of a head gasket. Because now if I can get that done, there's not that many things left that are expensive to have to do to keep this on the road. And it drives like a car with half as many miles on it. Oh shoot, less than that, maybe about a quarter of as many miles on it. It's so smooth and so tight. So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. Thanks for listening, and hopefully you'll see this on the road again soon.